Why am I crying over this? This is crazy. When my back is against the wall and I don't have a plan B, I have to go for it. Yeah, it's even tough thinking about it now. It's been 14 years. And this is where I disappointed my mom the most. Go to school, get a good job, go to college, university, get a loan from the government, find a stable job, find a nice woman, have kids, get married, buy a house, keep working until you're 60 something, and then maybe travel when your knees give out and call it a life. Sounds fine and dandy. Sounds like a lot of people nowadays. But the truth is, I didn't do squat. I didn't do any of that. I did the impossible task back then of graduating high school, which I never thought would happen. My dad didn't even think he would see the day that I would be graduating. But here's the thing. After I graduated, I went straight to college. I just took a few general courses there and I had no clue what I was doing. I felt like I was sitting there wasting my time. I chose Spanish, I chose psychology, I chose English. I chose those three courses and it just felt like high school 2.0. But this time you had to pay and it felt like a big waste of time. So I decided, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to sit back and think and relax and knowing that time was on my side back then. And I did what basically every graduate would do. Get on the PS3, play some Modern Warfare 3, play till 3 a.m., fall asleep, wake up at 12, get some lunch, run the routine again. And for me specifically, I used to play ball at Renfrew Community Center on 22nd every Friday. That's what I look forward to the most. I was still a big NBA fan, and that was all I ever cared about, just keeping stats of NBA players, watching my boy Derrick Rose play before the knee injury, and then just hooping it out and just going into a very, very deep cycle, which I didn't know I was kind of going downhill from there. College and university was the last thing on my mind. I was looking for other ways to kind of succeed, but it seemed like having the family household here and seeing that my mom had a very successful blueprint. She wanted the same for me, obviously, and I don't blame her. But the truth is, the blueprint that she needed worked for her time, and I think the problem was she thought it would work during my time, and nowadays it's always changing. It's ever changing. There's always something that we need to adapt to. So yeah, in order for her to go to school, she needed good grades, which is what she had. For me, I had straight C minuses. I think the only thing that I was really striving in was PE and band, and I was barely passing Spanish. So knowing that my grades weren't really going to get me anywhere to the higher level schools like UBC or SFU, I took the step back. You can only play Modern Warfare 3 for however long until you start feeling sluggish and kind of wanting to do something about it. So eventually my mom stepped in. She thought, hey, you know what? He's not doing anything. I think it's time for him to step up and get a job. She actually applied on my behalf to Walmart, and that was one of the first ever jobs I had. Now, keep in mind, back then I was a big time shoe collector, and Foot Locker and Champs at the time. Those were that was kind of my dream, and just selling sneakers and then just moving up the ladder from there. And I think I've pictured myself as like, oh, I could be a shoe manager, but really it's to the benefit of a bit of a discount on the sneakers. And yeah, I felt like that was it, and I was gonna call it a life there because that's kind of how I looked at myself with the guidelines that society gave me. I bombed those interviews, by the way. I did so bad. One of the questions was, what would you do if somebody stole something? Now, the moment I heard that, I leaned into my chair, just like so. I came up right up to his face, damn near, and I said, I will chase them down. I will get that shoe back. I got game. And it was really embarrassing. That was one of the worst experiences I had. And what's funny is that whenever I visit like a Champs or a Foot Locker, that person that interviewed me would always be at those same locations, and I'd never want to show my face, just out of pure embarrassment. It was so bad, but obviously that was a building block to something else. I feel like I could do better now if I were to apply again. Again, my mom applies for me online for the Walmart just down the street out in Burnaby. And it was a group interview, and the position was a maintenance worker. And I had no clue what a maintenance worker was. I didn't even know the term maintenance at the time. And they said I nailed the interview, and they were very proud of me. And they basically said at the end, like, oh, yeah, your job is to clean toilets and mop the floor. And I'm thinking to myself, what did I get into? This is such a garbage position. Now, keep in mind, that was what I was thinking at the time. But the truth is, man, those guys are hard workers. They deserve every penny that they earn and more because, man, going through that, especially closing up the women's washroom, having to clean up there, going to the men's washroom, cleaning up there, and then just the random spills and whatnot. It's tough when your classmates or people that know of you see you walking around there at the age of 18, 19, just mopping the floors and them saying, hey, what's up? I ain't seen you in a minute. And, I'm in my Walmart gear. It just felt really embarrassing. But I did move up in the corporate ladder just a little bit. I leveled up from the maintenance worker to the back end guy. And that took a lot on my body. We had the heavy pallets of items and whatnot, and we put them onto the wooden stock, and then we just bum rush them over to the aisles at the end of the day. So my shifts would be from 3 to 11. It was tiresome work, but I didn't really need good grades to move boxes from a truck over to some pallet. The Filipino culture, they look at you as wasted potential if you don't enter yourself in like some type of work field that is deemed as pristine, like healthcare or being a doctor, nurse, or a lawyer or a business person or whatever. And this is where I disappointed my mom the most. When I decided to quit my job in order to achieve damn near the impossible, becoming a professional wrestler. I saved all my money that I made over at Walmart and I decided to train, just mindlessly train, just working up my upper body, working on my strength, my core. I had this really major injury, but I worked my way through that. Keep in mind, be good with your form, especially with your deadlifts, because that damn near changed my life. Went for runs. Keep in mind, I was around 185 at this time, and I dropped down to 165. And I felt like I was kind of at my physical peak there. I was able to do chin-ups, which I was never able to do in high school. That was a pain in the ass. It was worse. It was horrible when everyone's seeing you struggle. Meanwhile, the fit guys over there were doing 10, just mindlessly, just effortlessly doing 10. I changed my physique. I changed my lifestyle habits. I had my mindset on that goal of becoming a professional wrestler. Now, I had that already in my head, ready to go. But one day I was sitting in my room just watching some wrestling tape, and my mom comes in, and I don't know, for whatever reason, she had this weird gut feeling that I was gonna go for it. She was seeing me watching wrestling, and she sat on my bed, and she's like, "You're not gonna do it, are you? Please don't do it." And she started crying, and I immediately started tearing up too. I hate seeing my mom cry. I hate disappointing her, but this one was a little different because usually when I get in trouble with my mom, like I'm very apologetic about it, whether it's something I do goofy or if I mess up with something that gets her upset. But the truth is, this time I actually really, really wanted to go for it. This was the dream, and the biggest pushback was actually my mom. And keep in mind, my mom is one of the most supportive people you could ever meet. But the thing is, when it comes to something like this, where your body is on the line every single night. Obviously, as a mother, you would care a certain way. So her emotions were valid in every single way. Now, what the big issue was, she really couldn't process it on her own. So she decided to reach out to the church. The church folks, I mean, I don't want to put them all in one basket because I know there was one that was very supportive. Everybody was not on the fence with it. She went ahead and told the pastor. She went ahead and told the other folks at the church, and they said, "Josh, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? This doesn't make sense. Why don't you just go and be a nurse? And you'll make your mom proud. You'll get a nice stable career. And why don't you, why? It's stupid." Yes, it sounds stupid to them, but I guess when you're really obsessed with something and you really want to go for it, then it shouldn't faze you. But I'm kind of in that culture where you want to be accepted. You want your parents to kind of accept who you are and what you do and what you stand for. And obviously this was out of the shell. This is out of the norm for anybody. I could talk to anybody out now, right now, and I'm pretty sure they'll be like, "Wait, isn't it that fake stuff that you guys are watching? Isn't that stuff fake?" I'll tell you right now, with the bumps and bruises I had in Atlanta, not fake at all. So it was tough. The pushback from the church was crazy. You know what's crazy? The only person that really flat out said, "I support you," was my dad. I've shared a little bit of my dad from the past in my previous videos, but out of everybody, it was him that actually supported. He's like, "Yeah, I support you. Just go ahead, do your thing." He's the type of father that provides financially. It was one of the very few times that him and I were actually on the same page. Spiritually, I mean, I was being forced to go to church every Sunday ever since I was a kid. But the moment I had my driver's license and I was able to take my mom out to work or church, I would go and I would stick around. But after seeing the pushback and feeling the pushback, I felt like, I thought that church was meant to be a part of a community and to support you in whatever you do. But obviously, in this case, it went the other way, and I wanted to step back, and I did. I did. I'm like, what? Why wouldn't they support me? Yeah, it's even tough thinking about it now. It's been 14 years. And I still haven't gone back as a regular. I mean, I slowly started praying again and going to these small little private Bible studies again just to find myself spiritually. And it's been great. But man, that was such a tough time. It was such a difficult time for me to overcome. But as I kept training at the gym, as I kept running, as I kept watching footage of wrestling, my mom slowly turned around. And I think the biggest thing for her to let me do my thing was the fact that she wanted me to be happy. And then she prayed really hard for her to kind of accept all of it. Why am I crying over this? This is crazy. Now, go the story to Atlanta. That's another long story that I can tell. But the thing that I take from it, the experiences that I've taken from there, and the fact that I was able to do this, it came to the point where I wanted to do it out of spite, just to show that these guys at church that, hey man, I can do it too. And I did it. I went out there. I did it. I did my thing. I impressed a lot of the guys there. If you need a fact check, you could go ahead and I'll leave a link to a few of the wrestlers that are still wrestling today, and I still keep in touch with them from time to time. Day in, day out, just one of the most dedicated guys there. I was the first one in there. I was damn near the last one out. If I could stay there and sleep over the night, I would. I had that determination because there was nothing else for me. When my back is against the wall and I don't have a plan B, I have to go for it. And that's the kind of grit that I built over there. And the fact that I sat there and told myself, wow, I really came all the way out here for my dream. I was really proud of myself. Despite what people think, you got to go for it, because at the end of the day, the only person that has your back is yourself. Choosing your own path is very, very heavy. I was 20 at the time, and that was when I was at my bravest. If you're sitting there paralyzed at the thought of being a disappointment to your parents, yeah, you're gonna have to go through it. There's a lot of things that you're gonna have to go through, and sometimes that might be one of the most underrated things that you would have to go through, having your parents' approval. What's worse is that they disapprove, but the thing is, who's gonna stop you? You know what I mean? I did something that was deemed crazy, and my mom still loves me at the end of the day, so that's a win. And I give big props to her for being brave and trusting me that I'll be okay, and that it'll be all worth it. I'll expand on it more, but that experience was 100% one of the greatest times of my life, and that really built so much character into me where when I came back, I almost felt unstoppable. What about you guys? I want to know what the craziest career expectation your parents had to force on you. I have another video for you guys as well with regards to me and my mom surviving that Vancouver housing market. This crazy housing market. So click the video just right over here or here, wherever it's at. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much.